latest on Ashley and Jay's divorce, Larissa's arrest, plus who's working as a waitress. We have all the latest 90 Day Fiancé news right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, 90 Day Fiancé fans. Welcome to the show where we discuss all the week's top headlines involving this crazy cast, give you a little bit of our opinion, and you can chime in too on the live chat. We hope you do join us on YouTube right now. And by us, I mean myself, Christy Olson, and this lovely lady sitting to my left. You know her from the 90 Day Fiancé after show and all of its spinoffs here at AfterBuzz TV.
Right.
Hello, Linda.
Hi, guys. Oh, so much juice this week.
I know. I've been looking forward to this. And there's so many things that I'm like, I cannot wait to hear what Linda thinks about this. I need to know what the people watching think about this.
Yes, there's so much. And I'm telling you, they just keep adding. I think my whole life is going to be 90 days.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? I'm to the point where I'm like Insta-stalking so hard that I'm getting blocked in some places. More on that shortly. Actually, let's just jump right into that. Okay. Because as usual, the couple making the hottest headlines, perhaps, the biggest news is with Ashley and Jay. And a lot of things have come out in the last week or so. Ashley says that she is trying to file for divorce, but Jay won't sign the papers. She also claims that he wants half of what she owns, which I think is sort of a common thing in divorce proceedings. That's just a box that your lawyer checks, and she may be making a bigger deal out of it than it is. However, it seems like all this drama, mudslinging back and forth is getting to her because Ashley also made an Instagram post late last week that sounded like she was quitting the show.
Yeah.
However, I would like to remind people that her season is over, and so you can't really quit now.
So she clarified, though. Because I, like you, was like, let me see what's going on here.
Yeah.
And she clarified in the comments of that specific post that she was just referring to the end of season 4. And then she went on to say that she's not saying that you're not going to see her on TV anymore.
Because I've been dying to know if they're shooting any of this legal drama that's going on with them right now, because we know that cameras are rolling on the next season of Happily Ever After. Yeah. But there's been no indication at all that they're being followed by cameras.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, would you? Because, I mean, look how we saw Larissa's story pan out. And they even made that like the first 30 minutes of the tell-all, where they're kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if Larissa gets a spinoff as well. So, I think that that might be possible. She just probably can't say. Because even in the comments, she did the emoji with the zipper lip.
With the zip lip?
Who knows?
Man, I just think if people see Ashley out with cameras in rural Pennsylvania, that somebody's going to leak that somewhere. But I guess they're just being extra careful. Yeah. But that's not all the trouble that surfaced from these two this week. While Jay remains in ICE custody,
that's right.
No real huge updates there. Ashley also was booked for that incident that went down in June 19th, where she threw the fire extinguisher through Jay's apartment window after she says she was going there to pick up her son's game console, and that Jay asked her to come, but then when she found him there with a couple of girls, he wouldn't answer the door. She got real peed off and threw that fire extinguisher. Now, this post she made, sort of making light of these allegations. On Monday, she said, I was feeling cute today, so I went in and took my mugshot. And then she challenged everyone to go and find it. Challenge accepted, Ashley.
You sure did. Christy accepted it all the way.
Yes, I have been on the phone with the West Shore Police Department, who, now this is it's not technically a mugshot. It's technically a booking photo. Yeah. I know it sounds really cool, Ashley, to have a mugshot, but this won't be your first one, sorry to say. And they don't usually release them, is what I was told by the administrators there, kind of because the case is still open. Technically, she hasn't been sentenced, but that there was a possibility they would make a special allowance in this case, and that I needed to speak to the police chief, which I have done, and am waiting to hear back. So I will keep you all posted. Hopefully we will have this booking shot. Now, I know it sounds a little crazy to be like, oh, I gotta get this mug shot. No.
Well, but I mean, a challenge is a challenge is a challenge.
Exactly.
That's it.
She wants us to find this. She posted our news report yesterday from 90 Day Fiancé News Now, which you should all be watching on the daily. And I think she wouldn't mind another headline about her.
Listen, a shout out and a challenge. That's it. That's all. do you know what I mean? If you're gonna challenge, I'm gonna go ahead and take that challenge.
Accept it.
Right? That's it. Especially if you're a competitive person. So bring it. We have Kimberly Mayfield in the live chat, and she wants to know, or she's asking the question, do we think that Ashley got fired and asked not to come back?
Oh, that's a really good point, because the stuff that went down in January where she was going like, oh, we filed for divorce. No, the show made us do that and it's fake. And both her and Jay have used that excuse a lot of times. Like, no, the show made us do it. And that doesn't really make production super happy when you go out saying things like that. So I won't be surprised. But then she also had the post saying that she was so thankful to the production company but you might be onto something there.
Maybe. I don't think so though, because I think that Jay and Ashley are news. Regardless, their relationship together apart, it's news, and it's part of that whole 90-day family. So I don't think that they would be like, hey, we're going to kick you to the curb. Because even if you think back, Paul had a little bit of drama with the production company as well.
True.
And they got him back, so.
What should we think about Ashley perhaps getting a spinoff, like single mom, doing her thing? I don't know. It seems a little TLC-ish, doesn't it?
People would love that.
I think they would.
They would love it. They will love it because they're already obsessed with her. They already call her this name and that name. So I'm sure that they would follow that journey on, especially if she talked about this week how she's never going to date abroad again.
Yeah.
Right? So especially if she's on that dating, when she's ready to date, starts dating again, that would be something that people would want to see. Like, who are you going to choose now? Since you're, exclusively dating in the U.S. or America, I'll say.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, maybe they could switch it up a little bit and just do a dating show type thing with her, or even with other former cast members. I like that idea.
Someone in the comments talked about, where did they say they wanted celebrity boot camp? Linda, will we see her and Jay on celebrity boot camp?
Oh, on the marriage boot camp. Yeah, reality stars. Oh, we have never had a 90-day couple on that show, which I watch religiously. I don't even know why.
Yeah.
But I would be thoroughly entertained by that. Although to do that show, it is a sister network, right? But I think still they would have to be officially done with 90 Day before they were doing that.
Yeah. But I think, I think TLC is making and creating their own shows, so who knows?
Yeah, and creating their own shows they are. We saw the series premiere of The Family Chantel this week on Monday. I always want to say The Family Chantal, just because that's how Pedro says it, but it seems that her family and herself refers to her as Chantel. And kind of the big news here is that Chantel and Pedro have been here in LA. They're doing this big press tour. Yeah. They're taking in all the sites. They went to Harry Potter Land or whatever that is at Universal, and clearly are enjoying their very fancy hotel room that they are obviously staying in together, in case any of you wondered if they had broken up.
Right, because that was the news this week as well. That he was talking about divorce, that he cheated, all of that stuff. So I think that was just the build-up to get us enticed to watch The Family Chantel.
That was some smart press going.
It absolutely was.
And they did a little more this week. They talked to Access Hollywood and to E! And kind of the main theme that stood out to me was that it sounds like they're having a bit of difficulty dealing with their lives being so public. Chantel talked about feeling like she's living in a fishbowl and being vulnerable. And you can just kind of see it on their faces. It seems like this is all weighing pretty heavy on them right now.
And I think him more so than her. I think that, because as I've seen her go through the seasons and getting to know, like seeing her even, almost it was like she was evolving. I think that, you're under more scrutiny because now you have your own show, but I think she's taking it in stride more so than him.
Well, and they talked about how they want the show to go on. They were asked if they would have their family on camera and do all of that, and Chantal said she would love to. I think they want to be the next Kardashians, probably. Absolutely. I mean, what family doesn't?
Absolutely.
But the one thing she said that's standing in the way of them having children, is this whole, we want to do it the right way, and obviously they're not ready, which that's very mature of them to realize that they're not, because they're clearly not. But she said she's also concerned about the grandmas, like, saying terrible things about each other to the child, and what kind of emotional impact that would have on her child.
That's valid, though.
Super
completely valid. If the adults can't even get along now, I mean, that's a valid point, 100%.
Absolutely.
Now, The Family Chantel, so I watched, and I just want to say this family is high drama all the time.
Yes.
And I was saying to you a bit ago that my new thing is I want to know what's going on with the sister Winter and her relationships, and that's what kind of pulled me in more so than the Pedro, because it's the same drama that those two have. Your families don't get along, you fight about it, now you're gonna go to, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, now you're gonna go to counseling, family counseling, but it's only one side of the family.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Until they go to the DR.
And we've just seen that one snippet from that of the mothers yelling at each other, which I'm sure there's more than one of those scenes.
Man, crazy family Chantel.
I was a little worried at first that it seemed forced or scripted even, but I think you're right that they really just are that crazy and that they'll maybe relax and get a little more comfortable having so much attention on them as the season goes on, and that I think we'll be able to see that on camera.
What do you think of the mom? I feel like the mom's a natural, because when she like smirked to camera, I was like, oh, see, you must have done some TV in your past.
See, and I don't think she's like playing it up. I don't think she's being a character. I think that is legit her. Like if there were no cameras on them and they were in the situation, Shockey or whatever the heck his name is, she would still be toting him around in her purse. She would still be barging into Pedro's apartment even if there were no cameras there.
Oh yeah, that's her. 100%.
Yeah.
The only thing I can't take with this lady is her broken Spanglish.
Oh gosh.
I just find it so cringeworthy. But I'm still entertained by it. I'm like, she did not. She did not.
What's funniest about it is that there's no one who only speaks Spanish around when she's doing it.
That's it. That's it. That's why.
Like, who are you talking to in Spanish?
Yeah, that's why it's so cringeworthy. Like, why are you being this way, Karen?
Oh, Isis in the chat said, I wonder why Chantel's family acts like Pedro is abusive. That was kind of a theme. Her mom was implying even that he human trafficked Chantel.
Body trafficking, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. And I didn't like the fact that she said that. I guess she's playing mama bear, but to say that she didn't feel that Chantel was safe in her own apartment with her husband, that's why she wasn't leaving. I was like, really? We're going to throw that in there? Because I know that if my significant other's family, who I have a bad relationship with, barged into my apartment unannounced, I'd feel some kind of way as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it did seem kind of extreme. And I was actually surprised that Pedro didn't blow up.
Yeah, and they hadn't seen each other for over a year or had not been in the same room, they said.
Right.
So can you imagine? You're chilling at home. All of a sudden, your nemesis come through.
That you haven't seen in that long.
Right. No,
and they got a whole
you.
TV crew behind them. Oh, well, thank God. I cannot wait to see what else unfolds on this season of The Family Chantel.
Man, so good. So speaking of unfolding, Colt. So Colt is trending all over, especially after the tell-all part 1. And his behavior is being questioned by everybody. All of the cast members. And my first thought, Christy, was, you know what? Larissa spent, a couple seasons and we thought she was crazy.
Yes.
And he spent one day on set with his castmates and basically was able to alienate all of them. So he fought with Chantel. He fought with Pedro. And with Pedro, from behind the scenes, they're saying that parts that got cut out that didn't make it to air were that those two almost came to blows physically. And he fought with Ashley. And then even in his Instagram, and he's really taunting this, he admits that he called her Trashly. And then
we've heard that one before.
With Nicole, he fought with Nicole as well and said, after all these years, like, is your relationship even really real? Like, what are you doing? So can you imagine, you say all of that and then you plop all of them and say, go, and let's just talk normal. Of course they're going to be irritated, and of course they're going to be, you know what, you're an antagonist and you're not a good person and we don't like you and you're a piece of whatever, all of that.
Yeah, well, no, you're right, because like you were saying with Larissa, I really thought she was the problem.
Hell yeah.
Especially the first season that we saw them, and I mean, in my book, Debbie can do no wrong anyway. That still stands. But we really saw kind of a different side of Colt lately on the show, and my opinion of him has gone downhill very quickly.
Well, on our after show, we talk about Colt all the time, and I've never been a fan. I think that he definitely has manipulative ways, and he knows how to poke the bear. And we saw this with the tell-all, we're now starting to see it with Larissa, and it all starting to make sense. And I have to put my 2 cents in here. I don't think Debbie's anyone's angel whatsoever.
Really?
At all. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You inserted yourself in a 1-2 relationship from the get-go.
But I don't think she really did. I don't think she wanted any part of it. I think that was just the narrative for the show, and that was what Larissa kept saying. So that was sort of the idea that fans got. But I don't know that she really did.
Nope. And Kimberly, I agree with you. We saw the true Colty.
She says he's a sociopath. Dang, Kim.
I've called him that. And then we have Nakia. Colt was a major at the tell-all. It was just hard because of all the stuff that went down with Larissa, because hurt people hurt people. That's facts.
Oh, that is true.
That's
that
true.
almost makes me a little sad for him. And it seems like from what we're going to see next week,
It gets worse.
yeah, like he's going to get what's sort of coming to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, that's what happens when you deliberately goad people. And that's not the only juice that's coming out this week. I'm talking about Fernanda Flores. Now, we got to go back a season or two because we haven't seen her on camera besides her YouTube Q&As where she tells her truth and all this business.
Right.
Well, something that she hasn't mentioned while telling her truth is that she's working as a waitress at a Chicago, like a shoreside eatery. I think it's called Shore Club or something like that. Yeah, where one of her coworkers ratted her out and said she is a server there, and she goes by her birth name, Nancy, which was a big surprise.
Yeah.
And just further confirmation that she does work there. That's where she was served the divorce documents by Jonathan last month.
Yeah, and so to build off of that as well, the person that took the photo was actually like a customer. So when the juice fell, they were like, ooh, let me just snap this real quick. And so she hasn't commented about it. She hasn't responded about it. But if you see the photo, it looks like 100%
It's obviously her.
Yeah.
And the point here is that there's nothing wrong with that. I myself waited tables for many years.
Yeah.
And almost everyone who works in the entertainment industry has a side hustle.
Yeah.
Until you really make it, you have to have a side hustle. But she just has been making... she's so proud of her modeling career that's really taken off lately, and she spends a lot of time pushing that on social media. So it's understandable why she would want to sort of create that ruse that she is able to support herself with her modeling, and maybe it won't be long before she'll be able to.
But you know what? I have to say, good on her for humbling herself and saying, hey, you know what? I need to have another side hustle to make whatever. So good on her for doing that. And, regardless, she shouldn't be ashamed because she's out there doing it, making it happen.
That's right. We're here for you, girl.
Yes, we are. And another person we're really here for, at least I am because she's one of my favorite, is Pau. So Pau posted her 7-month postpartum
Can't believe it's
body.
been that long.
Yeah, Axel, so cute.
Aww.
And she looks amazing. And what I wanted to do is actually just pull up exactly what she said because it actually really is inspiring.
It really is. So this was like a side-by-side pic of her right now versus when she just had the baby.
Just had the baby, yeah. So she calls it Transformation Monday. 2 weeks postpartum versus almost 7 months postpartum. Honestly, I was hesitating to post this picture. I know people are probably going to body shame me, but I don't care. I want to show the reality of a body that has gone through so many changes, and of course, show you that I'm so proud of where I am right now. The hardest part for me was gaining back my strength because training for me isn't about being skinny, which that can be only attained by caloric deficit. Being able to train like a beast, that was my goal, and let me tell you, I'm getting closer and closer. I want you to see this as a motivation. Making a baby takes a lot of your time and energy, but I'm trying my best to find that time and energy to keep going and reaching my goals. And that photo of her, she looks phenomenal.
She does, and I just think it's so cool that she had zero concern with getting skinny or losing weight, that it was about that she wants to be able to get in the gym and go as hard as she used to.
That's right.
What a goal.
Yeah, I love it. And that was her motivation even before, where it wasn't about being like rake thin. It was about being fit. And I'm glad that she's back at it. And I'm glad that she's motivating other people. Because in the comments, it showed that she's really motivating other mothers, people in similar situations. And I think that's fantastic.
It's cool. I'm kind of dying to know what her mother-in-law thinks of these photos. But I guess we could probably take a stab at it.
I mean, We already know the answer to that, really, Christy. We already know.
She's another sweet one, that mother-in-law who I think has been vilified a little bit, but
Do you?
I suppose you guys cover that on your after show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's a Debbie, that's for sure. Yes, I use it as a verb. I don't think she's a Debbie, but she's pretty close because, I just think that you have to be welcoming because it's not your relationship, and you can be protective and all of that. But at the end of the day, if it's not your relationship, be on the sideline a little bit. Don't jump into the fights.
I think she'll come around now, maybe that the baby's around and seeing how being such a great mom and seeing how she can inspire people with her fitness.
Yeah.
And also just how comfortable she is with herself and sharing her body. How can you not just sort of just accept it after a while?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just be like, all right,
Yeah.
that's who she is and we love her.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel exactly like that. Like, that's who she is. And she owns it, and I love that about her. I really, really do. So one show that is just so dear to my heart because they seem so fresh still is 90 Day the Other Way.
Yes.
And that love just seems so, as pure as it can be for reality TV. But you can just tell, you guys are day oneers. You have no idea what's ahead in store for you. I love it. But Devin did a post and delete on her.
She's deleted it.
Deleted it.
I do have the screenshot.
I do have the screenshot because I talked about it on our after show last week. And so she posted a photo of her and her auntie. And it reads, many people are bringing up the fact I look very depressed during filming right before Vegas. I learned my aunt passed away in a horrible way. I grew up with her, lived with her, was very close to her at one point in my life. So it was very difficult to handle and deal with during filming. Due to the court case still going on, I did not bring it up on camera. Rest in peace, beautiful angel. I will talk about it in a future video when I'm able to, but unfortunately, we're still dealing with this in court, so I will be able to discuss it later.
Wow.
Yeah, guys. So if you're watching The Other Way and you've watched those first few episodes, you can actually kind of see her start to...
She's losing it.
Yeah.
She's falling apart
Yeah.
in front of our eyes.
Yeah, and so you have the backstory now, and that makes a little bit more sense to me.
Yeah, and I think too, I'm sure to Ji-hoon's parents too, remember they even were like, why is she crying?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised that so many people noticed and that she felt the need to answer to it. That kind of sucks that she had to do that in such a public way. Just the timing of it really couldn't have been worse.
Yeah.
But, she's got to get used to opening herself up in that way as well.
And I think she is. But I also think it's interesting that she deleted it after.
Yeah.
Because I was
what do you think's up with that?
I don't know. It's all roses on her Instagram now. But I think that, like you said, I think that with time, knowing that you're in the public eye, you're going to probably just find what works for you and reveal as much as you're comfortable with. Because if you don't reveal it, someone else is going to find it online. That's how the trolls work.
That's true, because my first thought, of course, was wondering what happened to this aunt. And I think maybe everybody would assume that there was another person involved here or something, but this could be an accident involving a company or a product or, who knows. But hopefully the court case will be wrapped up as soon as it can, just so her family can move on.
Absolutely. Niki's in the comments here. Devin and Ji-hoon are so cute. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. I agree. They're for The Other Way. They're my favorite couple.
Oh, really? Oh, gee, I don't know who I would pick. Maybe Laura and Aladdin.
If she starts telling me his name properly, then maybe, Laura, maybe. But this Aladdin, come on now.
Well,
That's your man. Say his name right.
She's not known for her mispronunciations like Larissa is. And of course, as you mentioned, the whole first part of the tell-all was kind of the follow-up to her story, this third arrest that went down in January, I believe. Yes. So we did get some details, though. Of course, after this all comes out, the documents are going to surface. We know that this stemmed from a fight that started because of some pornography that Colt purchased. That's what Larissa told police.
Yep.
And that when they arrived, although both of them had injuries, both Larissa and Colt did, he had a swollen lip and a bloody mouth, and she had scratches all over her face.
Yep.
The police actually determined that Larissa's injuries were self-inflicted and that she was the aggressor, and they hauled her off to jail at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and I watched that whole thing unfold during the time because she was posting on Instagram and, basically saying, call 911 for me. He's injuring me. I'm hurt. I'm this. I'm trapped. All of this stuff. So to watch that play out and then to see her now, it's like, wow, one person can be toxic for you for sure. You can be in a relationship and love each other, but both be very toxic because that situation, like, can you imagine she felt that she needed to self-inflict harm for herself and then blame Colt? Come on.
It's all very scary, is what it is. And she has, of course, been sentenced since then, and she's actually still under the conditions of that sentencing because she's still attending domestic violence classes. She had to do 48 hours of community service and pay a $345 fine.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting point that you make because she looks better than ever, is clearly happier than ever.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't making the correlation that that's because Colt isn't in her life anymore.
I mean, happy is happy. Even the Kardashians have that revenge body show, so,
Larissa does look different every time that I see her pop up.
Yeah, she needs
on the social media.
Yeah, well, because she's doing the fillers and the fillers and the fillers and the injections and, live your best life, Larissa. Go ahead.
Get it. Keep posing in all that lingerie.
Just to jump back a little bit, Kimberly, yes, Jihoon is the father of Devon's baby.
Yes, the one she's currently pregnant with, or currently on the show. Spoiler alert, that baby has been born. We don't know where, though. Actually, Linda probably does.
What's that?
Oh, where if they had the child.
They have their baby.
Here in America?
They have had their baby. She had their baby here in Utah.
Okay.
Utah. But we don't have any photos of the baby yet, so you guys, if you see any, send them my way.
Yeah,
I'm looking.
We're all over that stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, it is time to take a look at the B list of 90 Day Fiancé. These are the friends of distant family members, people that we see on the show all the time that we want to give you guys a chance to get to know a little bit better. So with the premiere of The Family Chantel this week, I reached out to Obed to get a little more personal information from him. So this is the friend who they called a family friend of Pedro and Nicole's formerly.
Yep.
They've had a falling out, clearly.
Yep.
He met Chantel when she came to meet Pedro in the Dominican Republic, and he and Chantel have had a great relationship since then.
Now, it's important to note that the fallout that they had is because of the same thing that's going on with Chantel and Pedro, with the mom and Nicole butting into the relationship.
Into Obed's relationship, right?
Obed's relationship, and also wanting Obed to send money back to them. So it's a similar pattern, which is important to note as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah, girl. Tell us all about it. Well, a little more personal information about 28-year-old Obed. He has a social communications degree from the States College, but his parents passed away when he was young. So he does have a brother and a sister that he is close with, and he now lives with his aunt and her son. So clearly family is very important to him. He works something with social media, which is not a surprise. So we see him very active there, and he obviously has some friends who are super active on social media as well. And this is very interesting. He also works on fashion weeks, and he's a beauty queens manager for Miss Dominican Republic. Now that's important because Nicole, Pedro's sister, has ran in beauty pageants before and has been the big winner. So is that perhaps how she and Obed met?
I bet that's
Makes
exactly
a lot of
how.
sense.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
Yeah, so he loves reading, traveling, and going out with his friends.
Nice.
And I gotta say, I am excited to see more of Obed.
And we will on The Family Chantel. And that is going to be so juicy because when Karen, the mom, when she sits down and you see that clip of him telling her in her face, I said it from day one. So the harvesting the American dollar.
It's going down on The Family Chantel.
Our next segment, which I love, Ship It. Or what do we call it? Ship it or
do we ship it?
Do we ship it?
Yeah. We're a little double entendre there.
Yeah.
Relationship or, ship it out.
Ship it out. And so here
or maybe you just take a shot every time we say the word ship. Maybe that's the game.
I like that. Let's do that. Ship. So our Ship It couple of the week is Larissa and Eric Nichols.
Oh.
And Eric is her new boyfriend. He's younger. He's 27. He's a Vegas local. They met on Tinder. And they met 2 weeks after Larissa got out of jail. She was feeling a little lonely and decided that she was going to make a Tinder profile. And he is the first person that she saw and thought looked handsome. And so
He's cute.
they connected. He says that he's never watched the show prior to meeting her, so he knew nothing about 90 Day Fiancé.
I believe that.
Didn't know that she was part of the 90 Day Fiancé. They started dating very casually, but specifically with each other. They went public with their relationship on March 29th of this year. And what's funny is that they went public at her divorce party.
That's
that she
right.
held at Crazy Horse in Vegas. He was her date. And from there, they've been moving forward. And he just recently made his Instagram private. So it's going to be hard for us to stalk and see what's going on there. Right? The Insta fame is getting to him. And he hasn't appeared on any of the 90 Day Fiancé episodes except for this tell-all that we're seeing.
Yeah.
Part 2. So, as we said at the top of our show, whether that means they have a spin-off of their own, who knows what's going to happen, but he's, now starting to kind of weasel into like the TLC family, so I'm interested to see what they do with that.
Yeah, and it seems like he couldn't be more different from Colt either. Doesn't he own his own business or something?
Yeah.
He has a home.
Yeah, his own car, all of this stuff. He's self-made. Yeah, so completely different. Looks completely different. Larissa even said, she made a reference to Frank Sinatra and said that, it's quite the upgrade that she has now versus then. So if I'm going to say ship it, do I ship it? I don't ship it.
You don't ship it. You're going to keep the relationship.
No, I'm saying I don't believe it. I ship it.
Oh, you're shipping them off. But they've been strong for a while.
I know.
You think it's just for the cameras? You think she just needs someone right now?
I do.
So the fact that she was still texting Colt, or at least he made it sound that way during the tell-all when she and Eric first started dating, leads me to believe that maybe she is just lonely and needs someone. But for someone to, Larissa isn't a saint. Now that she's, apart from Colt, she's behaving a lot better, but she's still not a saint.
Yeah.
And to put up with, I guess there's not a better way to say it, to put up with Larissa for this many months, it seems like maybe it could be legit. Like, this guy has to have a lot of patience, and I think they'd be past the point now where, you hide the real crappy stuff about yourself at first. I think they're at the point now where she probably is being her true self, and it's still working. So
I love that. I love that optimism.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate. So, rumor across the online world is that they don't play on the same team.
I do remember wondering that for a sec when we first saw him.
And
one of our someone in the chat did say that Larissa likes feminine men.
And it's possible. It's possible he's just a metrosexual, and that's okay too. So I don't know, but I don't know if I think this is a long-term lasting relationship. And then, guys, I don't have the graphic, but I definitely will put it up in my Insta stories. Larissa posted a photo of herself with this new lingerie company.
Yes.
And I think it's either today or yesterday. And I'm going to show you because it's here. But if you know that backstory,
steps.
This is Colt's house.
That's what I thought.
It is not her friend from 10 years ago. So all the details, the devil's in the details.
You think her and Colt are still together?
It's possible.
Because I noticed that immediately, and I thought it would almost be, it was stupid of her to post it if she was trying to pretend that it wasn't those steps, because it clearly is.
She probably didn't even think about it twice.
Oh, well, then we would really have to ship her and Eric, but I'm going to say that they're going to last for a while.
Okay, and I'm going to say they're not.
Oh, man. If her and Colt are still together, that would be the biggest swerve in 90 Day history.
Listen, I would not be surprised for 1 minute.
Oh,
for
girl.
1 minute.
Well, I am so glad that the AfterBuzz TV fans out there, reality TV fans out there, have your guys' after show to sit and watch and break all this down with you. And where and when can they do that at?
Guys, tonight we are doing 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After at 9 p.m. Then back to back, we're doing 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. And then we are premiering the after show for the Family Chantel right after that, back to back to back to back. So stick with us.
Yes. Oh, that's going to be fun. I might come and hang out in the live chat too and put my 2 cents in.
Yes.
And guys, don't forget, we do 90 Day Fiancé news now every single day. It's a much shorter report that gives you that day's newest, latest, hottest headlines. We touch on rumors. And of course, I am going to get that booking shot from Ashley, and you will
I love it.
see it on 90 Day Fiancé news now. So make sure you check that out. Also right here at AfterBuzz Reality TV. And we'll see you right back here next week for more 90 Day Fiancé news. See you then.
Bye, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.